Okay, hopefully you have tried these questions. When you have an exponent of half, that's equivalent to a square root. So the square root of 100 is 10. Exponent of 1/3 is equivalent to the cube root of that base of 125, and a number times itself 3 times, that gives you 125 is 5. This would equal the square root of 17. Now, if you put the little 2 here, it's not wrong, you can, but you can leave it out and it's implied to be a square root. And that is approximately equal to, I'm going to use my calculator for that because it's not a pretty number. 16 is, square root of 16 is 4. This is 4.12 roughly. So I'm approximating that. I put a dot above my equal sign. This is equivalent to the cube root of 64. 4 times 4 times 4 is what equals 64. The cube root of 64 is 4. This is the fourth root of 16. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. This one is the fourth root of 16, all to the exponent of 3. The fourth root of 16 is a 2, so we get 2 to the exponent of 3, which is 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. Next one, we have, we could use power of a power law here, and that could equal 8 to the exponent of 1, or just 8, but this actually asked us to write it in radical form. So that's the square root of 8 to the exponent of 2. The square root and the exponent of 2 undo each other. It just gives you 8. Similarly, this would be the cube root of 8. All cubed, they undo each other, give you 8. Or you could have done power of a power rule. That would just be 8 to the 1, which is 8. Similarly with this one, power of a power rule, 8 to the 1, which is 8. Or we've got the fourth root of 8, all to the exponent of 4. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to undo that spot. Yeah, remember we can write it underneath as well. So that, they cancel each other out, and it still gives us 8. So hopefully these make sense. Next one's writing in exponential form. This is really the 81 to the exponent of 1/2. Okay, or the square root of 81, which is a 9. And I'm having trouble with my stylus there. Let me just tidy that mess up. 1/2. Okay, this would be the cube root of 125, which is the same thing as an exponent of 1/3. And the more you work with these numbers, hopefully the more automatic some of these values are. The fourth root of 20 is approximately equal to 2 so that's 20 to the 1/4. Make sure you know how to put these into your calculator. Okay, if you're not sure which buttons you should be using, please ask me and I can help you out with that. I usually can find where your buttons are, and sometimes they're a little more obscure. They're not written the same way as another person's calculator is designed, so let me know and I can help you out. Okay, the cube root of -64 would be a negative, and that will be a 4 with that. This says 8 to the 1/3, or the cube root of 8. Goodness. I'm trying not to put my palm on the iPad because then it moves everything around on me, and then that causes me a little bit of grief as I'm trying to write here. All right, so that cube root is the same thing as 1/3. I'm going to do this one in a couple of steps, and then that's all to the exponent of 4. Apply your power of a power. That's going to be x to the 4/3. All right, now the last one here, I've got a 98 to the square root of 98 would be the same as 98 to the 1/2. And then that's all to the exponent of 2. Power of a power rule, that's just going to give you 98. Similarly, this would be 98 to the 1/3. The cube root is the same as the exponent 1/3. That's all cubed. That's going to power of a power rule, gives you just 98 again. And the last one will also just equal 98 because we have 98 to the 1/4. Oh, goodness, 1/4 all to the 4, which is 98. And there you have it. Okay, try the next page. See how you do on that one. Though they get a little trickier there. So I'll post another video for that one.